Hi, welcome back to the monthly market report for the Hamilton residential real estate market. This segment is looking at the May 2023 month and the activity that went on in there, and maybe a few things to look at for the future. My name is McCarthy from Remax Escarpment in Hamilton. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you find this helpful. And if you could give it a thumbs up or a share, that would be awesome. Really appreciate that. So let's get on with it. The median price in the real estate market in Hamilton stayed where it's been pretty much for the 4 months now, at 750,000. That's down 8% from May of last year. But if you've been keeping track, year over year, similar months have been mostly double digits. So now we're down into the single digits of year over year value reduction. For reference, though, it's still down 21.7% from the peak in February of 2022. But that 750,000 number, it's been ranging between 710 and 750 for 10 of the last 11 months. So pretty consistently staying in that range. Cumulative days on market was down to 12 days in May. So, it's still pretty hot in terms of, if you've got a house, there's lots of houses being sold, or listed under market and doing the offer night, multiple offers. There are a number of other properties that you'll see listed, at a good market price, and they'll go pretty quickly, and they may still also end up getting multiple offers. If anything's on there for a long time, it's either a really unique niche property, or it's just basically overpriced. Anything that's kind of a reasonable price, it's moving pretty quickly. This 12 days is about as quick of a turnover in inventory that we've seen in the last 10 years, other than that COVID phenomenon, like for 2021, much of 2022, and a couple of months in 2017. Right, so the inventory, it's shrinking as well relative. The number of months of inventory, 1.5 in May. It was 1.8 a year ago. So, just coming down off of that super high peak market. Prices were higher, but the relative availability of inventory was actually higher and more available than it is in May of 2023. In February 2022, it was 0.6, and but as recently as September through December of 2022, we had 3 to 3.5 months of inventory. So a significant change in tightening of the market in the first half of this year relative to the end of 2022. Okay, the number of sales we saw go up in May, which is not abnormal, but we ended with more sales than we had last May, up by a couple dozen. 776 sales in the month of May in the Hamilton market. It's the first time we've seen sales outpace the same month of the prior year since sales in February 2022, which outpaced February of 2021. Every month since then, we've seen a reduction in similar month sales compared to the prior year. So demand staying pretty strong, even despite not even just staying pretty strong, like a good increase in demand there, despite the higher interest rates. All right, new listings, those went up as well. So people are, feeling a confidence in the market that demand is out there, that they'll be able to sell their house if priced properly. What we saw, though, even though listings were up, it's not quite the frenzy that we had last year, where there were over 1,600 units listed, because people were trying to catch up and trying to get their houses on the market to capitalize on that incredible increase in market values. Unfortunately for those people, they realized that it peaked in February. So we did that. Obviously, there's a little bit of a delayed effect there, but still, the number of of new listings at 1240, a decent number, and the increase over the number that we had new listings in last April was 31%, which is significant. It's a large increase from April to May, where the more typical increase is 12%. So again, kind of like a relative number showing like an increased confidence in the market, where people are willing to put their house out there. Those two numbers combined to see the sales to new listings ratio drop from where it was like in the low 70s down to 62.6%. Still higher than most months in 2022, and still strongly in the seller's market territory. And then the effect that had on total listings, we saw it remain pretty steady for 5 months there. A bit of a bump. But the number of listings overall is 12.8% down from May of last year. So the influx of new listings last year was very quickly alleviating that inventory shortage that we had, and likewise, not seeing as many new listings come on the market. We're not seeing the amount of inventory at the levels that it was at last year at this time, which was just coming off record low numbers of inventory. And this May is the first month we've seen fewer units on the market than a year earlier of the similar month since, you guessed it, February of 2022 compared to February of 2021. So, is there a coincidence with what we're seeing in May with what we saw in February of last year, where that was kind of a peak of that market? Is this going to be a peak here? I don't know. It's not like prices are going up, but they're certainly remaining pretty strong relative to what's out there and the demand and the increase in interest rates. So we may see some significant changes either in the amount of numbers that are sold or the amount of listings that are on the market over the next month or two. It's just interesting. I'm really interested to see how that plays out. All right, that is it for May. Hope you enjoyed that. We will see you again next month in June, or we'll see you in July, and we'll wrap up June. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out anytime. Always happy to chat about the market in general, or even just your neighborhood. So don't hesitate. Look forward to doing it. If you're thinking about it, please do. All right, take care. Have a great month, and we'll talk to you in